This is a Rogue Media Network podcast. Hello, folks. It is Friday, and you are at King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
And I am Rusty.
So on Fridays, we do a That Ain't Right Friday, where we talk about King of the Hill adjacent things. And if you were here on Monday, you watched us. You watched along with us season 14, episode 2, the one about homemade beer. And we talked a lot about the things that have made this revival good.
Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to talk about was there is a Reddit thread at r/King of the Hill.
We can do that first, actually, because I got a bad email that I wanted to read.
Okay.
And then you could follow up the bad email with all the good stuff that we like. And then we could go into their I wanted to talk about the marketing blitz.
Yeah. So do you want me to do this first?
I'll do the email first.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do the bad first, and then we'll go to the good. We'll
way.
get the bad out of the way because I think it's funny, really, than bad. This is from a guy who's emailed us before. His name is Sean Kelly. Hold on just one second. Let me see. I think he is.
You know, here's the thing. If you
there's no voice sexier than Mike's. He's the one that said you had a sexy voice.
Thank you so much.
So let me find the.
I had my throat slit though for the neck thing, and it's kind of fucked with my voice.
Yeah, my dad used to sing really good before he got his voice.
I mean, I think it's coming back. I think
his stuff sounded weird for a while.
I think it's coming back, but yeah, I'm still having a problem like swallowing food and stuff.
Yeah, he had problems for a while with that too.
A lot of taters.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of mashed taters.
Pot pies too. My dad ate a lot of pot pies.
There's some things that are, if they're fairly soft, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But like my wife got pizza last night. I was very sad that I couldn't eat the pizza because it was really hard to swallow.
Yeah, pizza, that'd be odd. Blend it up. All right. So Sean Kelly, he said, "Well, guys, I made time to watch the first 2 episodes of season 4 of KOTH. Seeing that I am a super diehard fan, I don't say this lightly at all. I am disappointed. I don't want to be overly critical." But then he's going to be overly critical. I don't want to be overly critical because these are old friends to me, and I'm happy to see them again. But Peggy and Dale's voice sound very differently. Pause. Okay, so they're old people now.
That's true.
You got to think, when those people started that show, some of them were in their mid-30s, some of them were in their early 40s, some of them were in their early 30s. Most of them now are in their late 50s.
I don't know if these
60s.
people have seen Kathy Najimy lately, but she's
old.
older. She's old.
She's definitely an older lady.
She's a funny person, but she's older. I mean, it happens to all of us.
When we hung out with Jonathan Joss, older man.
Yeah,
it's
true.
We
he hadn't lost that voice though.
No, he didn't lose the voice. Johnny Hardwick, older man. Mike Judge is 60. So they're older people. When you're young, if you have any video footage that you can find of yourself in your 20s, and you go back and you look at something later on when you're 60, and you compare your voice is not going to sound the same. It's just going to be different.
True.
You've got a lot of things. You know, it's life. Shit changes. All right.
Things sink. Things fall.
He said, Peggy and Dale's voices sounded very differently, and I know they're being portrayed by the original actors. Also, I can't get used to this animation. It's not how I know these people in this universe. Duh. While it had some nice moments, some genuinely funny lines and situations, I feel the script's writing is diluted and weak. It's possible I'm not being fair since I haven't watched the entire series, but it makes no sense to me that Hank would retire so early in life. Now, let me touch on the Hank retiring early in life.
Hang on one second before you say that.
Yeah.
Mostly Machines 88, thank you for being here, number 1, says, I've watched all the seasons a couple of hundred times in my life. Getting a new season after 15 years is awesome. All the people complaining can take a long walk off a short pier. That's exactly how I feel about that. And then blah, blah, blah says, my daughter is a huge King of the Hill fan. I told her Dale's voice was the only one he was struggling with, but she said they sound fine. Just older.
Wisdom of youth.
The wisdom of youth.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
a really good point.
Absolutely. All right, where was I at here? It makes no sense that Hank would retire so early in life. Okay, think about it. Hank is one of those guys that's probably been working since he was 12. He's probably been mowing lawns, chasing, like, my dad, I'm relating my dad to this because he's a Texan and this is how he grew up. But
Sure.
my dad was 11 years old and worked on a chicken farm when he got off of school
Oh,
until 8 or 9 o'clock at night when he was 11, 12, 13 years old. And Hank, I envision as this guy who's been working since he hit puberty.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine Hank's been working since he's probably about 12 or 13. Hank's now in his mid to late 50s.
Yeah.
And that might seem early to a lot of us for retirement. But for a guy in that generation of people that's been working that long, like my grandpa started working when he was like 5 years old, working in the fields.
Yeah.
So like by the time these guys get to 50, they've been working 45 years. So you got to think Hank now has had multiple jobs that he worked at for a long time.
Jeans West.
He didn't work at Jeans West that long, but I'm majorly talking about Strickland Propane, and I'm talking about
which I'm
Amoco.
assuming is closed at this point.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's probably
That's how it feels.
probably close, but it's not out of the realm that he would be retired. Anybody that worked in the oil industry, worked in the gas industry, yeah, they're retiring at 55. 60.
Well, not only that, it's because they made a ton of money. Basically, they went over there to build themselves enough of a nest egg so that they could retire. So that's what they did.
He said he is my hero, and he believes in hard work, and he believes in working. To see him retired at this age, well, I feel like he has surrendered and given up. And I don't think he's given up. I think he's just in the next phase of his life. He's made so much money that work just doesn't make sense.
Well, I think very much in this episode that we just watched on Monday, he laments the fact that he took work for granted.
Yeah, he talks about it.
That's all he wants to do is work on
He
something.
talks about, the struggle of not working and stuff.
Yeah.
But he always finds something to fill it with. He talks about it a lot, how he struggles with it throughout the whole
I think Peggy
series,
has a harder
but he
time
always
filling her time than he does.
Yeah, I think Peggy has
honestly.
the harder time. I think Hank will always be able to fill his time. It's very difficult to watch. Thank you guys for all you do with the show. I appreciate that. I'm sorry for shitting on your email, but I'm always going to shit on emails that I think are kind of funny.
I think everybody's entitled to their opinion.
It's not a personal thing. You're entitled to your opinion just as much as I'm
Yeah.
entitled to shit on your opinion. I'm glad there are people who love the show as much as we do. You're both awesome. I'm very grateful for the podcast.
Thank you, man.
We appreciate you. Thanks
do.
for always listening to us and stuff like that. However, I do not agree with your take on a lot of things. I think it's an amazingly done show right now.
The other
It's
issue with
perfect.
some of this is the fact that they built it up for such a long time that you were expecting a carbon copy of what you experienced.
No, I didn't. That's the thing is, I don't even think that people should have expected that. I think anybody that went into it expecting that they were going to get the exact same thing they got before was just delusional.
Yeah. Well, I can't say that you and I didn't think that it was going to be a little bit like it used to
I watched all of Beavis and Butthead, the remake.
Yeah.
So I knew it was going to be different. They were going to have scenes where they age them up, and they were going to have scenes where they do flashbacks and you can see them when they were young again. But I saw the phenomenal job they did with Beavis and Butthead, and I was like, I had no doubt that if it's some of the same people, and it is some of the same people working on it, and creators are the same people, the creators' visions don't change. The creator's vision only gets better, I feel like, after ruminating on it for all them years. You don't think that Mike Judge don't just lay in bed at night and think about Beavis and Butthead shit and just sitting there going, oh, and doing shit like that?
Sure.
I could just imagine him sitting there after eating a couple of gummies or whatever he chooses to do if he drinks or whatever, sitting there with his wife, and he...
I was in a box says he's going to use this on his reference as the next job application.
And he probably just sits there and thinks shit up, especially shows that he's done for so long. Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill and all that, that's like his babies, especially Beavis and Butthead. That was in the Liquid TV days.
Mostly Machine says people just want to find things to complain about. You're absolutely right about that. That's our culture right now.
Yeah, it is. I think people...
Just be glad we're getting new episodes of The King.
Social media did that. Everybody's got an opinion because of social media.
It's true. Well, let's talk about this Reddit thing real quick. It's r/King of the Hill, and this is by Bishop915. It was 1 day ago. It says the revival succeeded in what I think makes the show great. It says I found myself smiling and just feeling good when the credits on the episodes start to roll, just how I remember on the OG. I do miss the production card callbacks, though. Those are still there. We just saw them.
It's still there. So what happens is if you're watching the show and you're watching it in succession, you'll have the skip button, or it'll run
go
into
past
the next episode. You have to really
you have to click the watch credits.
Watch credits.
And then you get the whole end of it.
And you'll get the whole end.
Somebody responded to this and said, I think the reason it works as opposed to, say, the last 25 years of The Simpsons, which, you've wrung that one out, or a large portion of the Futurama reboots, is because of context. Watching Bart Simpson play around on a smartphone is never going to feel right because that's not the world he came from. However, Hank has always been out of step with the modern world, and Bobby is somewhat following in his footsteps, so it feels right after all this time.
Yeah.
That's a great point. It
Yeah,
really
it does.
is. It says the time skip. This is by somebody else. The time skip also adds new dynamics. They already exhausted everything they needed to do with 11 to 13-year-old Bobby. So even the audience, it's just like returning home, just like it was for Hank and Peggy.
That smartphone thing
So
kind of reminds
good.
me of my parents too, because they were late adopters to smartphones.
Yeah.
They, oh my God, everybody's always on their phones, but now they're always on their damn phones, staring at shit, scrolling and stuff.
Oh, it got everybody. This one says, I really, all in caps, like the touch of Bobby being just a little bit out of step with tech and social norms as a result of spending so much time on his business. We see how he draws from Hank in core ways, even though he's also his own man.
I was hoping for a social media heavy episode where you got to see like Hank's profile picture.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's probably that one.
Oh, who's to say?
It's probably that one that most like
the blue one.
50-year-old guys have. No, not like you.
Oh, you think it's an actual picture?
Not
of
like
him.
you, but like guys who aren't very tech savvy that are that age where they have a profile picture, but they post the same profile picture like 10 times in a row.
Oh yeah.
It'll say this guy. It'll say posted 1 minute ago, and it's like the same picture 10 pictures in a row, and it's like real close, and they're not even smiling or anything like that.
Yeah,
it's like
it's like their prison
that
picture or
prototypical
something, yeah.
picture for middle-aged men or
Here's
or
another
elderly
one.
men.
Here's another one says, I am really loving it. You can really tell which characters mellowed out and which ones had their tendencies heightened up over the years. Yes, you, Bulldozer. Says it really feels like I've grown up with Bobby now, too, as a 31-year-old. I felt Bobby's confusion on social media, and it says, Bobby Emilio just sent 4 exclamation marks. What does that even mean? I'm going to send him 4 question marks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the reason I wanted to point this out is Reddit is king of shitting on things, and
Yeah, Reddit
this
is critical.
this is all good stuff.
Yeah, it's a
People
lot of
are
good stuff about the
excited.
show. A lot of people are excited about it, and that's what I like is that a lot of the energy around it's positive. There's very little negative energy that I found. There is some people that don't like it, but like you say, some people look for things to not like about it.
Yeah.
I think if you go looking for things to not like about it, and you sit down thinking, "Oh, I want this show to be the show that I watched, 20 years ago," you'll never be satisfied.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that.
I think those are the type of people that find things wrong with everything. That's like it's easy to sit around and think of things that are wrong in life.
Oh yeah.
If you do that though, you sit around and you kind of like prophesize what life is going to be. You end up living this negative life because all you think is in this negative space.
Yes, I believe you're right. Mostly machines. It says Peggy's Substitute Teacher of the Year award, the one with the taped over name. Is that the one she won with the name Mr. Hank Hill? I
That's
think you're
exactly the
absolutely
one
right.
that
Yeah.
she won. She won
That's
that
what
one. Yeah.
That's what I'm really enjoying about this is all the callbacks to the old stuff.
Squonky Loon. I love that name.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for popping up. Yeah, you missed the start of it. We're an hour and 43 minutes into our Friday recording for our Friday episode. but,
I'm on
it's all
episode
good.
7 also, Squonky, and so I'm right there with you. We what we've done is we're getting through all 10 with kind of a watch along thing that we're going to do for a few weeks, and then we'll go back and start on season 8.
I caught my dad watching it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, my wife last night, I had just finished one. She came in the bedroom and she was like, oh, if you want to watch another one, it's fine. And when she says stuff like that, I'm always like, oh, you actually want to watch this, but you just don't want to tell me.
My dad's a big TV watcher.
Yeah.
So my dad grew up without a TV for like the first 10, 11 years of his life. He didn't get a TV till like 1969 or 1970. He was already like 9 or 10 years old when I got a TV in the house.
Yeah.
But he watches TV and he can watch anything. He's the guy that will do Jean-Claude Van Damme marathons
Sure.
and like just the shittiest movies on earth. And he's my whole life he's been like that. He
That's
could
my father, too.
put anything on TV and he will sit and he'll watch it.
Yeah.
And whether it's good or bad, he will acknowledge that it's bad, but he will tell you
Sure.
the story was a good story. He said
when-
it was
when
bad,
I-
but it's a good story.
When I owned my little video stores, we would get a lot of like trailers. And,
yeah, all
and,
that kind of stuff.
They're branded by the studio, but
Yeah.
they want you to watch it because they want you to buy the thing in your store.
Did you used to
right?
get a lot of the screeners too? Like
That's what I'm saying.
Before the
Screeners,
movie
not
came
trailers.
out,
Yes,
you would get the
screeners.
screeners.
Yes. So I would give all the shitty ones to my dad.
Yeah.
He had like stacks of these fuckers.
He would watch them.
And he would watch every damn one of them.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't matter how bad the movie was. It would not matter.
Well, that's
And
what my
then
dad would always
every
say. It's
time-
about the story. And, because I always wondered as a kid, how in the hell did movies go from silent films
Yeah.
to this? How did it
Yeah.
survive
Yeah.
with no audio?
It is weird.
And then I watch some of the movies that my dad watches, and I'm like, that's why.
yeah.
That is
It's true.
exactly why silent films
They'll
survive.
watch whatever.
Because there's going to be some people out there that will sit in front of a TV and they will watch anything. I had these Romanian kids that lived in the neighborhood with us when we were kids, and they had no TV in their home.
Yeah.
All they did was read books.
Yeah.
That was pretty much their only entertainment was books. And when they would come over to my buddy's house and stay the night with us sometimes, they would literally watch infomercials at 2 or 3 in the morning. They didn't give a shit
Just because it was something
what
on TV.
was on
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah.
They would literally, and we would walk in and we would be like, what in the fuck are you watching?
Watching
Like,
the
the
commercial about
remote
the dump
changes channels. Now, whatever channel it was on, HGTV, if it was
Sure.
on, Lifetime, whatever channel it was on, when they turned the TV on, if they were up later or they woke up early or whatever, and they turned the TV on before the whole world, whatever the TV was on,
Sure.
that was it. That's what they would watch.
I
They didn't
will have
realize
to-
there was a guide you could go to and you could pick what you wanted to watch.
I will have to give my dad one credit, though. Entire time I was growing up, at a certain year, but every time he would get sick, like if he had to stay home or whatever, because there was a point where he fell off of a building and broke his femur
Oh, wow.
and had to stay in a hospital bed in
Yeah,
our
yeah,
living
yeah.
room, right? But anytime he would get sick, he would watch every Nightmare on Elm Street and every Friday the 13th, back to
Oh,
back
that's
to back,
cool.
every
Yeah.
single time.
Every single time that was his thing.
Yeah, I'm really afraid my dad's
That
a
was his,
slasher.
that was his
but-
comfort. That was his comfort movies.
Well, let's talk about the
The
media
media
blitz.
blitz.
Yeah, the stuff that we've been doing. Or the
Oh yeah,
stuff
but my
that King
dad
of the Hill's
said
been doing.
the show was good, so it
Good.
was kind of funny that he liked it. But
That's a big one right there with Theo Vaughn.
yeah. So the first one I'm gonna talk about. So there was a media blitz. If everybody hasn't seen anything with King of the Hill lately, it is
It's insane.
everywhere.
Yeah.
It was everywhere. So the
That's
other
the
day,
Disney arm
Hulu
coming
did
out.
one. Yeah. So there was an episode that Theo Vaughn put out the other day. It was August 4th. He put it out. It had the Rizzler, the Costco dad, all that weird
Right.
social media shit. He was
Right.
on there, and
If you haven't seen this, you need to go search it out. It is.
it's like a 2.5-minute interview with Theo Vaughn and Hank Hill, and it's kind of funny.
It's cartoon Hank Hill sitting in a chair talking to Theo Vaughn. It's pretty good.
Yeah. So Alamo Beer. So Disney
Yeah.
actually did a multi-year licensing deal with Alamo. I
Really?
I kind of looked up some more information on it. Yeah. So they apparently they did this big product deal to where it's a multi-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have this Alamo themed beer. 2025 limited distribution, HEB Texas.
Sure.
2026 nationwide, other places than HEB. So there's been a lot
Whataburger.
of controversy about this one, though. There's been a lot of controversy about this one.
Controversy.
Yeah, because
What the?
they're just advertising a burger they already sell.
Oh, who cares?
Well, the thing is people think it's just a money grab just to get people to go up there and buy number twos. Because what they could have done is they could have made some kind of jellied sauce, or they could have did something to make the burger different. So you're getting a different item. People are like, you're just selling the same shit that's already on your menu. You're just putting Hank Hill's face on it to sell more number twos. So that's where the cash grab. That's where the controversy comes
See,
from.
it doesn't feel like a cash grab to me. What it feels like is Whataburger coming around to the fact that King of the Hill is probably one of the best things that ever happened to them, even though it was a different name throughout the series. You know, it started as Whataburger and then went to Waterburger.
It was good
and then,
advertising for
you
them because
know,
it was like the only
Yeah.
people that were talking about it.
because back then they weren't everywhere.
Yeah,
That's the thing. You
yeah.
got to remember that. Whataburger was not everywhere.
So August the 2nd
Uh-huh.
and August the 3rd, I think, is when it was. It was last weekend.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so there was a doubleheader weekend in Iowa for NASCAR. You had the Iowa Corn 350 powered by ethanol for Garage 66 on Sunday.
God, what
and
a
then
long
you
name.
had, yeah, it's a long name. And then you had the NASCAR Xfinity Series High V Perks 250. For those people that don't know how NASCAR works, NASCAR is solely survives and exists on the backs of sponsors.
Sure.
all of NASCAR, from the car
That's what I'm
to
trying
the
to get
tracks.
up here. Is those jumpsuits? With
Yeah.
brands
I
all
know.
over.
I know everything works off of advertising, but one of the things with the NASCAR world is those drivers only get to exist if they have multiple sponsors to pay for that shit because it's expensive.
I feel like I was in a box. It says Whataburger just makes too much sense to not do a King of the Hill collab.
Yeah, I wish they would have done a merchandise.
I don't care.
Like a cup or
a cup would be nice.
Something other than, because there's nothing. It's literally they give you a number 2 in the bag. Hank Hill's face is on the signboard.
You need to clarify that. Number 2 in a bag.
Number 2 in a bag. Yeah.
When I was a kid growing up, with Star Wars and all that other stuff, boy, you could go get the actual glasses at like Burger King.
Yeah.
McDonald's and stuff.
I've got some of those at the
Those
house.
were so cool.
Some of the Lion King ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Joey Gaze drove the Hank Hill themed NASCAR. So they had the King of the Hill
cool.
NASCAR.
Yeah.
The number 53, Joey Gaze in the Xfinity Series, he drove that, and then I think he drove it again.
I just want everybody to remember
in the Cup
this
Series.
is a show that was canceled.
This is a show,
and now
that was
it's
canceled.
everywhere.
And it is everywhere. All right, so San Diego Comic-Con was the next one, and we almost went to a small pop-up.
We went to a small version.
We went to the first.
Yes. We did.
We went to the first.
We did.
So this might have been bigger and a little bit better, and people got a bunch of shit.
Thank you, ATX TV Festival.
I wish this would have been done here. There was trucker hats they gave away. They gave away a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but we got those cool little metal cups.
No, we got some cool stuff. Don't get me wrong.
openers.
I got the bottle opener.
Yeah.
I got the metal Yeti cup. I still got the can of beer before they released the beer. I still had that same can. Haven't opened it yet.
Oh, I didn't even think about grabbing one of those. I should have.
Yeah, well, I grabbed one on. Well,
that.
I went to the guy and I said, "Do you have any beers left?" And he was like, "Man, I don't think I do."
Yeah.
And then I said, "Well, there's that one that's right there that you're using as advertising prop."
He gave you the last
I said,
one.
"Let me grab that
That's
one
awesome.
then." And he was like, "Oh, well, yeah, you're right." He says, "Hot." I said, "Well, I'm not drinking it anyway."
Yeah.
I said, "I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna drill a hole in it and drain it out, fill it with water and water glue or super glue
Hot
the
glue it.
hole,
Yeah.
hot glue the hole."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I never thought about that." He said, "That's a cool idea." I was like, "Yeah, that's what collectors do." I said, I don't collect cans, but I'm in the collector space.
Sure.
And I kind of have seen how different collections and how different collectors preserve their collections. And for cans, a lot of collectors for cans just drill a hole in it, drain whatever liquids out of it, fill the can with water, or some of them fill it with sand and use them as paperweights.
Sure.
Whatever you want to do, they just fill it with whatever so to maintain. So you can't just crush the can, and that's how they do it. Like beer can collectors and stuff like that do that. So the San Diego Comic-Con was the other one. They said they had like 10,000 people show up. They had a huge thing there. Other one we've talked about before is it was around Father's Day. They added 3 Fox dads to Fortnite. They added Cleveland, Hank. I can't remember who. Bob's
from
Burger.
Burgers, yeah.
They added those 3. Peter Griffin was already a part of the show.
Yeah.
He's already on Fortnite. But so they got Hank killing Fortnite now. August 15th, Friday Night SmackDown in the WWE in Boston.
Yeah.
There's 2 guys, Sheamus and Johnny Gargano, who are the current superstars.
Okay.
I don't know who either of them are.
They
I know who Sheamus is.
I've
I've heard
Sheamus,
of him,
yeah.
but I've not heard of the other guy. Apparently, there's videos inspired by moments from the show that they'll participate in, so that'll be something for Friday that we'll
that's
talk
cool.
about later on. Apparently, there'll be creative digital stuff shown throughout the arena, and there will be King of the Hill signage and on the custom wrestling mat. I haven't watched wrestling in a long time, but August 15th, Friday Night SmackDown, I'll probably be tuned in.
I'll definitely watch that one.
And then the last thing they mentioned is the TV festival that we did, where they gave away the KOTH branded Yeti tumblers.
I still get emails from that ATX TV festival, and now they're talking about season 15, I think it is, that they're going to do. This next year,
and we're going to go.
I would love to go. Yeah,
we'll do that.
That was a hell of a time.
And next year, I'll have been at my job for a really long time. By over a year at that point, and I'll have 3 weeks of vacation.
Oh, cool!
And I'll be able to go down there and not have to.
Well, obviously we can get press
drive down in the
passes
middle of the night and be wore out and shit.
Yeah,
I'll be able to be there and
exist.
we
might be able to actually stay over one night. And
and
see
exist.
the next day.
Split a hotel or Airbnb or something.
That was a shitload of fun, though. It was.
It was. And like
And it was
that's the
well
thing for me
done.
is when
Really
we went,
well done.
I was skeptical of how the what
Yeah.
it was going to be like.
Yeah.
But just that one day made me want to experience more of it.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, well, next time I'll have way more. I could take time off,
Yeah.
and with the way the way my schedule's set up, if they do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it might end up being that's days I'm off anyway, so I don't even have to take time off.
You know what I want to do is I want us to be one of those premier press passes next time.
We should be able
The
to
ones
get
that get let in early and things like that.
I don't see why we couldn't get
because
one.
I would love to talk to some of these folks.
Yeah, I honestly don't see why we couldn't get
Yeah,
one. But
yeah,
that's all the
I don't
stuff I've seen so far as their media blitz goes. They've got a lot of stuff, it seems like, in the pipeline.
He says, damn, Rusty, you guys hiring? I want 3 weeks of vacation.
They are
Squonky
hiring, I think. But, yeah, so also the things that they've got in the pipeline that there's not a whole lot of information about, but just like little bits and pieces that have been kind of released. So out-of-home takeovers in Major League Baseball stadiums via multiple St. Louis and Texas games. Professional bull riding rings.
Wow.
Apparently Walmart locations, theaters, and Live Nation summer concerts across the country.
How would you feel if you walked into a Walmart and saw Chuck Mangione Feel So Good to Save or whatever?
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Oh, I
wouldn't
would
it?
love to
That'd
have
be
one
crazy.
of those.
And I think that's what it's going to end up being is a Walmart Megalomart thing. I bet you that's going to be
Yeah.
the joke. But apparently in all of the Disney resorts right now, all the TV in room, they have a signage in the rooms, and in the
Sure.
in room TV ads all have King of the Hill stuff. Apparently there's been some King of the Hill mentions at the D23 Fan Vault at El Capitan Theater and at the F1 Miami Grand Prix.
Wow.
And franchise launches are to come. They already have them out. But Funko Pops, Thank You Skateboards, and Brick Craft.
That's amazing.
There you go.
I don't know if you guys
And
understand
if anybody
this.
wants to buy it, this is a shout out to anybody. If anybody wants to buy me and Mike, or just me is cool too, the Funko Pop,
I just got thrown under a bus.
that would be great. I mean,
Yeah.
I want the Funko Pops.
I don't know if you guys understand this or not, but Disney's fairly good at marketing. So, to have the Disney dollars behind it is amazing.
And that's the thing is they didn't have Disney dollars behind them before. And
They had a brand new station behind them before. Fox wasn't even really a thing.
No, Fox is really new. Yeah.
Fox was on like 6 hours a day, and that was it.
Yeah. Fox was super new
Yeah.
in the late 80s, early 90s. But not only that, there was a lot more I don't want to really say restrictions because they really had good dialogue.
Sure.
But there was a lot more restrictions back then as far as TV creation went.
Well, I think that
And it's unfettered now because they've solidified themselves so strongly in media as far as Greg Daniels and Mike Judge goes.
we're
Greg Daniels and Mike Judge could do whatever they want.
We're going to live in a Disney world at some point because they just bought freaking part of the NFL also.
Mike Judge could piss up a tree and film it and make $20 million.
Sure.
Like he is.
Greg Daniels also.
Daniels.
Because Greg Daniels has that follow-up to The Office coming out.
Is that him that's doing that?
called
Is
The
he
Paper.
doing that,
Yes,
though?
it's
Is it
called The
Greg
Paper.
Daniels?
Mhm.
Because
Yep.
I was watching that, and I saw like a little trailer of it,
Yeah.
and it was funny. Somebody in the comments said, "Well, I hope they have more jokes in the show because there was.
Yeah.
I guess the trailer kind of fell flat, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested in how that's going to go too. It looks really good.
I hope so. I hope it's great because The Office is another one of those that's just my all-time favorite. I just finished rewatching
like The
Superstore also, which is one of those that kind of falls off of the Greg Daniels tree because that's Justin Spitzer, who also worked on a bunch of this stuff with these guys.
Yeah, it's another one of those mockumentary type shows.
Kind
isn't it?
of. It's more of a sitcom because they don't ever
Okay.
reference a documentary crew
Oh,
or
okay, I
anything like
got you,
that. But
yeah.
it's a damn fun show, funny show.
Well, I
That,
really hope we
Good
get a lot of
Place.
cameos in the paper from some of the people from.
Well, you get that. You get The Good
Office.
Place, American Auto. If you ever watched it, that's fairly good. The Office. Boy, there's just so many that came off of that same tree. I'm a big San Antonio Spurs fan, and when you look around the NBA, you see all these influences of Greg Popovich, the coach of the Spurs for the last 20-something years. And I feel it's kind of the same way with Greg Daniels
Yeah.
and Mike Judge. There's all these branches.
Yeah,
that
they
have
got
come off
they got
of
like the
that.
Bill Belichick umbrella too.
Yeah, kind of.
And then they've got like there for a while they had what they called like the Tom Brady umbrella, which was
Sure.
like all of the backup quarterbacks that had been underneath
Yeah.
him for 20
Yeah.
years,
Yeah.
like Jacoby Brissett and Jimmy Garoppolo and all that. They had kind of that thing. How are you feeling about the NFL this year?
They got 1 year to prove it to me that they're serious about this.
I think they're serious.
Otherwise, I might move on to a different team.
You know, I think they're serious. Mike.
I've never talked that way about.
They
moving
made
to a
some
different
they
team.
made some good moves in the offseason. I think they're serious.
We'll see.
I would be more concerned about
have a tendency
the
to
QB
screw it up.
position. I'd be more concerned about their QB position because it doesn't seem like y'all have had a decent quarterback.
Well, it's Cam Ward, so I mean, it's a good. He's a good
good
quarterback,
guy.
but we'll see.
Because the guy y'all had in their last couple.
Yeah, he's out for the year. He got hurt.
Yeah, Will Levis shit a goose egg in
He loves
fantasy.
he loves his mayonnaise though.
Yeah, well, you know, he shit a goose egg in fantasy, so fuck him.
All right, guys, we that's it for Friday. Thank you so much for joining us. I was in a box. This Bengals been letting me down for a couple years now, and I'm feeling good about this year. Well, good. I hope so. I would love to see the Bengals get back in it.
They need to win it, baby.
I was never a Sam Weish fan, but that was a damn fine team that kind of got a screw job. So you want to tell them where they can find us?
Yeah, you can find us at BWAAAKOTH at gmail.com if you want to send us an email. I love emails. I will read your email. I will shit on your email if it's something that I don't have the same
But
opinion
lovingly.
as.
We
But lovingly,
shit on
yeah.
you.
No, I care about everybody, and I appreciate your emails. I just can't always vibe with what shit y'all got cooking up in y'all's
And
heads.
that's okay. It's okay for us all to have
Yeah, we're allowed to
different points of view.
Yeah, we're allowed to have distinction. That's good.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so I appreciate everybody. Yeah, BWAAAKOTH and Wima Tanye.
Yep. And from me, it's a Wima Tanye indeed. We'll see you guys back again on Monday. This has been a Rogue Media Network production.